Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid as the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years whilst earning only minimum wage. And in this video I want to explain to you how you can make becoming financially independent much easier. I was watching a YouTube video last week on a guy, an American guy as it happens, but his nationality is irrelevant to the stupidity all over the world. But this guy was complaining to his friend about how he just received an $800,000 bonus. That wasn't his salary, it was just a bonus. And yet he was still struggling to get by. Why? Well, he had this fantastic lifestyle. He had this massive house, quite a large family. He had a massive house, holiday home in the Hamptons. He had a big motor launch. He had two great cars, one for him, one for the wife. Member of exclusive clubs, great holidays, fantastic clothes, you name it, he had it. And yet he was struggling on an $800,000 bonus, rather. And I thought to myself, you know what? It is much more difficult for him to achieve financial independence than it is for me. His lifestyle was so radical compared to mine that it was pretty much impossible for him to retire. He's never going to replace that salary, never mind the 800,000 bonus. It was almost impossible for him to do it. And yet he could do it if he wanted to. If he just scraped by on half that bonus, never mind the salary, if he could live off 400,000, and who the hell couldn't live off 400,000? But if he could live off 400,000, cut his lifestyle right back, then he could take the other half of it, the other 400,000, and invest that so he could retire early. So why doesn't he do it? The reason he doesn't change this lifestyle is because he's playing the status game. He surrounded himself with accoutrements of wealth, the house in the Hamptons, the yacht and Lauderdale, all that stuff, in order to raise his status in the eyes of others. Just whose eyes? Well, clearly not my eyes, but in the eyes of others who are like him, his peers if you wish, and people who are also playing the status game. Status is your perceived value to the group. Now, it can come in different forms. If you are wealthy, then you will have a status within the community. If you're a professional footballer or a celebrity, you will have a status. Sometimes it's a job. If you're an engineer, a doctor or such like, again, you'll have a status. Sometimes it's service to the group. You're giving something like teaching, or you're a priest or something. But it's the service to the group. Now, if you don't have service to the group, you don't have natural status, then what you do to get that status is to surround yourself with the stuff that these people have, typically to look wealthy. That's because service to the group often generates wealth. So people will walk around in clothes and thinking that wearing a pair of Armani jeans makes them look more attractive to the opposite sex. They drive cars they can't afford because it's what someone with status would do, have a nice car, but they don't have the status, so they'll drive the car of a person with high status, a car they can hardly afford. That's the status game. Everybody plays the status game. The girl who's walking around with a Jimmy Choo bag and not a pot to piss in, the guy on the £800,000 bonus who's struggling to get by, they're all playing the status game. And yet if you opt out of the status game, financial independence becomes much easier to achieve. Remember, it's said that the overt pursuit of status is in itself a low status activity. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting that you should go all frugal and cut out all consumption, 100% of it, cut it all out. You know, I don't want you living like a church mouse. I don't want you diving in bins to eat your food. I believe you only get one shot at life. I don't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe that we come back at all. I'm sorry if that goes against what your beliefs are, but all the evidence suggests I'm right, by the way. If that's the case, shouldn't you have as much experience of life as you possibly can? And do the things that fascinate you, that excite you, that drive you forward. And believe it or not, these aren't things like big cars and yachts and second homes in the Hamptons. They're not. They're experiences. They're things like, and I've got a list of them. I want to, when I reach financial independence, or rather when I become that millionaire status or close to it, what I want to do is I want to do things like I want to fly in a Spitfire. I want to ride in a Formula One car. You can get two-seater Formula One cars. I want someone to take me around the track at 200 miles an hour. I want to swim with great white sharks off South Africa. I want to fly in a hot air balloon over the pyramids. I want to go to the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. They're all experiences, things that you will imagine and treasure whilst you get older. Not the cars, the old cars and boats and second home, holiday homes, they're just drags on resources. They're taking money from you all the time. And when you strip out all those those things, those cars, the cars in the Hampton, the house in the Hampton, and all that. So if you strip it all out of your financial independence figure, you'll find you don't need that much in order to achieve financial independence, in order to get the lifestyle you want, that you dream of. It really isn't necessary. So what I suggest you is go through your figures again. Look at, what do I want to do in retirement? Take out all the stupid cars and the stupid houses and the stupid aeroplanes and the stupid boats things, and just fill it full of experience, and you will find you don't need as much, and it becomes that much easier to achieve. Don't be stupid and don't be normal, guys.